Hello and welcome to day 15 of our October Pilates challenge. As we begin week 3 of this challenge, we get to start exploring the back muscles. So far we have been thinking about the length and support and postural space of the spine. And now that we have activated those core muscles a bit more, have started developing more strength happening from those core muscles, we can actually start exploring how the upper back, the lower back, and everything in between can have strength, can have length, and be able to work with dynamic movement in a way that feels good for you. So let's start by sitting. Draw those feet in front of you, hip distance apart with the knees generously bent. Hands go behind those knees and lifting up long and tall, scooping the abs and the ribs tight and lengthening out through the top of the head. And then take a nice deep inhale as you begin rounding through the spine. So that flexion of the spine. And then exhale as you sit up long and tall. And inhale as you round it back. And then exhale up long and tall. And let's do one more time like that. Inhale as you round it back. And then exhale up tall. And now drawing the inner thighs together. Squeeze those ankles and knees together, reaching those arms forward, lifting tall. And then round back, one vertebrae at a time, rounding through the spine all the way back onto the floor. And relax those arms by your sides. So taking a moment to lengthen outwards through the tailbone, draw the abs and ribs in, widen the shoulders, and then draw that chin down. Feeling the abs activate as you scoop through the legs to bring them up into tabletop. We go directly into our low back stretch. Inhale both knees to your right side, keeping the legs squeezed together, and then exhale the knees to center. And inhale as you go to the left. And exhale to center, wrapping that waistline. Inhale right, and exhale to center. Belly button to spine. Inhale left, and exhale to center. Let's do one more full set. Inhale right, and exhale to center. And inhale left, and exhale to center. Leaving the legs there, hands go behind your head and lengthening outwards through the neck. Let's roll to one side as we prepare for upper back stretch. Closing those elbows, lengthening outwards through the neck and the hips, drawing the core in. And then twisting through the upper torso, looking up to the sky. And then exhale as you close. And inhale as you open, expanding through that armpit, and exhale, close. And inhale as you open, keeping those ribs drawn tight, and exhale, close. Adding on, inhale and open, and then stay there, and exhale, extend through that arm. As you reach across the shoulder and the armpit, if you would like, you can add the flex of the hands so the fingers point down, the palm facing out. Adds a nice big stretch on that forearm. Keep scooping the abdominal muscles in so you're lifting and lengthening into that lower back. Swooping that hand down towards your hip. And then exhale up, opening through the chest. And inhaling down. And exhale up, breathing through that movement. Inhale and exhale up. And two more. Inhale and exhale, lift. And one last time, inhale down and exhale up. Good, bring that hand into a fist, circling for 3, 2, and 1. And then reverse, 3, 2, and 1. Hand comes back to the head, scoop through the core to bring you to face the side. Keeping those abs pulled in strong, roll all the way to your opposite side to reverse. Pausing here, lengthen outwards to the neck and outwards to the hips, inner thighs, abs, ribs. And then inhale as you twist, open, and exhale as you close. And inhale as you expand through the chest, and exhale, close. Inhale as you open, reaching through that chest, and exhale. Adding on, inhale and open, and then exhale, extend that arm. If you would like, add the flex of that hand. Keep drawing the abs and ribs in towards you, and then swooping that hand down to your hip. And exhale up, opening through the chest. And inhaling down, and exhale up. Breathing through that. Inhale and exhale. Good. Draw the belly button to the spine. Inhale and exhale. And one last time. Inhale down and exhale up. Good. Draw that hand into a fist, circling the wrist for 3, 2, and 1. And then reverse. 3, 2, and 1. Draw the hand to your head, scoop through the core to bring you to face the side. And then coming back into the middle of your mat. Go ahead and hug the knees into your chest. Take a moment to relax the lower back into the floor. Long neck, open chest. And then circling those knees around for 3, and 2, and 1. And then reversing that for 3, and 2, and 1. Going into our hundreds. So find your hundreds position that's going to be best for your body today. Choosing, again, what works well for you today. Not necessarily what you did yesterday, right? Inner thigh squeezed, abs in, ribs tight, reaching through those shoulders, long neck. And now pumping those arms with breath. We get inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Pull the belly in and up and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Nice open chest and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Lengthen through the spine and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Reach to the shoulders, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Pull the belly in and 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Squeeze the inner thighs and 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Wrap the ribs together, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, release. Hug those knees back into you. Take a moment to bring the knees more towards the armpits so you can relax around the hip sockets as you lengthen the tailbone along the floor, keeping the abs and ribs pulled in. And then circle those knees in opposite directions for 3, and 2, and 1, and then reversing that for 3, and 2, and 1. And then sending those legs down nice and long. Turning ourselves around, let's come onto the belly. We now get a chance to start working in a different orientation. Now, when you're laying on your abs, it can feel very strange to still work your core. So let's find that. Stack your hands underneath your forehead so that the neck can be nice and long without squishing your nose on the floor. Allow the legs to reach behind you, giving yourself some space. And then without thinking about compressing or really moving very far, this is more about intention, I want you to think of drawing your abdominal muscles up towards the spine. So you're going to feel the belly button scoop in towards the back. And in doing so, you'll notice that your low back will actually shift positions, right? Because when we first lay on the floor, we kind of sink, right? There ends up being a little arch that will naturally happen generally on the lower back. And as we scoop those abdominal muscles in, we start feeling a lift across the front of the hips, right? So you start feeling kind of these suspenders actions working upwards towards the rib cage. So you're feeling this support, this strength, this contraction happening across here, right? Which will allow the tailbone to start working into neutral so that we're not arching. And now keep that as you begin drawing the ribs together. Now, instead of, again, pressing the ribs into the floor, we want to pull those ribs in towards you. So you're feeling that lift of your core up and away from the floor. And that is much more about intention than actual distance, but feeling how we can engage through that. Now, as you're doing that, notice if you're pushing your chest into the floor to try to feel that core lift. See if you can release any kind of need to press into another part of the body, right? But how those core muscles are nice and strong, so you can really start activating that sense of lift towards the back regardless of the position that we are in. Now, keeping that as you begin lengthening your right leg away from you so that we're not working necessarily your quad or, your hamstring or your glute, but more that you're activating now your lower back muscles. And then releasing that leg down. Now, as you're doing that, you're still keeping the abs pulled in and the ribs tight. So you're feeling that lift of your core up towards the spine as you now reach your left leg out. And you'll notice I'm saying out, not necessarily up. Upwards will give you a lot of action in the back of the leg. Outwards, we'll start feeling more of this support from the lower back muscles. And release down. Let's do a few of those just so we can wake up that sensation. Reaching through your right leg and release down. Keep those front ribs glued together and reaching through your left leg and release down. And reaching right and release down. Belly button to spine, reaching left and release down. Let's do one more set. Right and release down and left and release down. Fantastic. And then relaxing through that for a moment, right? Feeling out those lower back muscles and how they feel engaged when they are contracted from a space of support and strength, right? Versus compressed and shortened through kind of the hinge aspect of things or the slouch aspect or funky posturing, right? So feeling out those differences. So now working into your upper body, I want to broaden through the shoulder blades. So feeling width in the shoulder blades. Now find your lats. So let's slide those shoulders down the back as if you could tuck your wings down the spine. Now check in, find the rest of your core, abs and ribs pulled in. Now, keeping your hips long, the legs reaching outwards, they're not going to move from the floor as you begin squeezing the shoulder blades down and together in a way that may actually begin lifting the arms off the floor. Now again, keeping those abs and ribs pulled in, we're not pushing the core into the floor to do this work. We're going to keep those core muscles pulled in and think about actually working across your upper back muscles as you begin sliding the shoulders further down the back to lift the torso up. So now we're starting to work into what would actually be spinal extension, that arch. Now think about that root word, extension, right? Is to lengthen, not to squish, right? So as we're pulling those abs and ribs in, we're feeling all this length and support happening through the lower back. And then we are drawing the shoulder blades back and down in a way that is opening through the front of the body, right? So we are expanding through the front of the chest as we are gaining that strength into the upper back muscles. And then slowly lower yourself all the way back down. Let's take that again. Draw those abs and ribs in, squeeze the shoulder blades down and together, and it's going to inhale as you lift. Feel that work coming from the upper body. Again, glutes stay relaxed, your legs stay on the floor. There's no need to hinge into the lower back for this. Feel out what your upper back can do. And then slowly lower it back down. Let's do that one last time. Pull those abs and ribs in. Try to feel that lift the whole time as you squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. The neck is long. There's a sense of reach happening across the torso and the chest. And then release it back and down. Hands come underneath the shoulders, scoop through the core, and press yourself back into a child's pose. If it feels more comfortable for your body to have the knees more open so that you can bring it into more of a triangle position, you're welcome to do that as well. Here, draw that chin into the chest so you're more on the hairline, and then broaden the shoulders so that we're countering the work that we just did, tucking the tailbone actually under, drawing the ribs up, and then breathe across the spine. One more. And relax. Fantastic. So getting a chance to start opening through the front of the chest, starting to work through the strength in the upper back, and starting to get into extension work. Now I know a lot of times when we're thinking about arches or back bends, layouts, anything that has to do with bending towards the back of the body, there could be apprehension, especially if you have ever injured your lower back or things along those lines. Doing this in small, stepwise form, checking in with your body, seeing where your body can go from a space of support and from length really does make a big difference, and thus opening up the whole wide range of different movements that include this beautiful expansion that can happen through the whole entire spine. So if lower back things are not necessarily your comfort zone, take it small. Keep it small, tiny little steps, feel out how you're supported from your core muscles. Go really small, like maybe half-inch increments of space and length in that, just to wake up what you are capable of and how we can do that beautiful arch position from a space of support and strength. So thanks so much, you guys. If you're interested in doing any additional stretches or exercises today, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.